So yeah, since 2015, we've released what we call the Inclusive Design Toolkit, which you can get to by scanning the QR code there. And it's really based on these three principles. The first is recognize exclusion. The second one is learn from diversity, and the third one is solve for one, extend to many. And these principles we developed as part of a toolkit to help people design more inclusive products. And really, the first iteration of this was aimed at people with physical disabilities, and really based on this notion that a disability is not a physical condition, it is a mismatch between a human being and their environment. And as creators of environments, it's on us, especially in the digital context, to be able to change those environments and adapt them to people's needs rather than the other way around. And when we first developed this toolkit, what we very quickly realized that, the just approaching it from a physical disability lens was important, but a very small piece of the pie that you could actually think of as the world of inclusion. And so since then, or even, as we were releasing it, realized there were so many different domains or different areas of humanity that we could extend this practice into. The first principle, like I want to talk about for a second, that's just this notion that unless you're deliberately looking for places where your products can exclude people, you are going to build exclusion into your products because you're going to be operating based on your lens or or the built-in biases that we all have to do things that serve what you assume might be needs for yourself. And so the toolkit, has this process where what we do is recognize exclusion. In other words, look intentionally for areas where we might be excluding people, and then extending that to co-design with people who might have those disabilities or whatever it is that we're looking for that might be a source of exclusion, and then build products that might work for those folks. And then we quickly find that doing so, potentially extends the benefits of that product to all different types of folks who might benefit from the technology. So, one of the most obvious examples of that is closed captioning. It's something a lot of people was developed, obviously, for people who have hearing loss, but now is used broadly by so many different people. Maybe you're watching training videos in the audience, you want to disturb your colleagues, you're looking at the news in the airport, your parents who don't want to wake up your children when you're watching a movie. So it's extended to so many different types of people. And Microsoft, we have several examples of these that we hold up as good, I'd say, examples of inclusive practices. There's a set of technologies that we call learning tools that's available in the Office suite, where basically what we've done is develop this technology to make it easier for people with dyslexia to read. And it proved to be fairly effective for that, especially for younger children. And now it's been extended to a lot of classrooms and lots of environments all over the world where people are learning how to read. It actually, so a lot of people are using it to learn foreign languages or to gain literacy to begin with. So, we find these technologies are really extended in many different environments. And as far as localization is concerned, like this is obviously a great place to look for exclusion. At the United States, we tend to look at things from a sort of a US first type of worldview. And then when we go on to other markets where, our products are like equally used, we often find differences. We often find different points of or awareness issues that we might not have known if we hadn't like co-designed or tried to like work directly with people in those different markets. Like the gender issue that Stefani brought up is really an interesting one. It's something that has very different cultural implications in different markets, and non-binary or gender neutral people have like, really started to emerge and, made it known what a lot of their preferences are. We try to honor that in the United States by doing things like having open fields for pronoun preferences when we're asking for that in our software products. But it's very different in different languages. Obviously there are languages where gender is very highly built into many more aspects of the language than just pronouns, the way English tends to be. And so these are interesting things that we can use that same process of recognizing where the exclusion point is, trying to co-design solutions with people who have lived experience with the condition that you're trying to solve for, and then rolling out products and seeing how the market really can dictate where those products can go. And often we find that this is not just a compliance thing or a right thing to do thing. It's something that is a source of innovation and it can extend the power and reach and the marketability of your product and its desirability, especially to government institutions and educational institutions or places that tend to be more on the more driven by requirements, but also more on the forefront of ensuring that their products do serve all of their all of their customer base. So yeah, check out the toolkit. The latest thing that we've gone into is neurodiversity. So we're really trying to understand the needs of people with like ADHD and autism and all different types of cognitive conditions. And so we've released a version of the toolkit this spring that helps people understand how to address those conditions and make your product friendlier for them without having to become, experts in neurodiversity. So that's a tricky thing, but it's a super interesting and super rich area that we're trying to learn more about.